Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we're diving into a report that might sound like a snooze fest, but trust me, it has some interesting twists and turns, especially if you're into real estate investment trusts. We're looking at a Form 8K filing from Presidio Property Trust. Think of this as a quick update a company gives to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, about important events. In this case, it's all about what happened at their annual meeting of stockholders in June. Before we get started, if you appreciate us getting straight to the insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come join the conversation. This report is dated June 20, which is when the annual meeting events took place. Okay, let's get into the heart of the matter, the voting results from the annual meeting. The company's stockholders got together and voted on some important issues. What were these issues and who voted how? That is what we will find out. First off, it's important to note that all share numbers haven't been adjusted. A reverse stock split is when a company decreases the number of its outstanding shares. The first big vote was on who gets to sit on the board of directors. The people who helped steer Jennifer Barnes and Tracy Hager were re-elected to serve until the 2028 annual meeting. Let's see how the votes broke down. For Jennifer Barnes, she received roughly 4 million votes for and 480,000 votes withheld. It means stockholders didn't want to vote for them. Tracy Hager received about 4 million votes for and 460,000 votes withheld. It seems like they had pretty good support. Next up, stockholders voted on who should be the company's independent auditor, the ones who check the books to make sure everything looks good. They decided to stick with Moss Adams LLP for the fiscal year ending December. The vote tally shows roughly 8.6 million votes for 185,000 votes against and 97,000 abstaining. A solid endorsement for Moss Adams to continue auditing their books. Stockholders also voted on an amendment to the company's incentive plan, which is a way to reward employees with stock. The goal was to increase the number of shares available. The results were 2.8 million votes for 1.1 million against and 514,000 abstaining, so it was approved. The next proposal was to increase the number of authorized shares of preferred stock. Preferred stock is a special type of stock that often comes with certain benefits. Unfortunately for the company, this proposal did not pass. While 333 million votes were in favor, 576,000 were against and 594,000 abstained. This proposal needed a majority of all votes entitled to be cast, not just the votes that were actually cast. Another proposal failed to pass. This proposal was about clarifying the time period required for stockholders to give notice that they intend to accumulate their votes in the election of directors. Accumulating votes is a strategy that some stockholders use to increase their chances of getting a director elected. Unfortunately, it also failed to pass with 3.5 million votes for 367,000 against and 579,000 abstaining. Like the previous proposal, it needed a majority of all votes entitled to be cast. Then stockholders had a chance to weigh in on executive compensation, how much the top bosses get paid. It's a non-binding vote, meaning the company doesn't have to follow it, but it's a good way to gauge stockholder sentiment. The stockholders approved with 3.4 million votes for 463,000 against and 606,000 abstaining. Finally, stockholders voted on how often they should get to vote on executive pay. They approved holding this vote every 3 years. Breaking it down, 1 million wanted to vote every year, 58,000 every 2 years, and 3.2 million every 3 years, with 131,000 abstaining. The company is taking that advice and will hold future votes on executive pay every 3 years. And that's the summary of this filing. It's mostly about the voting results, but also a bit about the direction of the company in general. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Presidio Property Trust is a real estate investment trust, or REIT. This means they own and operate income-producing real estate. Their properties include office buildings, industrial facilities, and even some retail spaces. Now here are my thoughts about it. One thing that stands out is that some of the company's proposals failed to pass. That could be a sign that stockholders are not entirely happy with the direction the company is heading. It's something to keep an eye on. On the other hand, the re-election of the directors and approval of the executive compensation plan suggests that there is still support for the current management team. However, given how many proposals that failed to pass due to not receiving the majority of all votes that could be cast, there is something going on. Overall, Presidio Property Trust seems to be facing some challenges, but also has opportunities to improve. Alright, that's our breakdown of Presidio Property Trust's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.